Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Chilltown Hoops. I'm your host, Jermaine. The youngsters call me OG. My friends call me J-Dub. Let's get to it. Championship teams, they're chameleons. They don't just play one way. They have to adapt to different styles because they're going to run into different teams and everybody doesn't play the same way. So we have to adapt to how everybody else plays. And in the process of doing that, we're not going to let you take us out of what we do best. But we also can play the way you play. If you want to play rough, we can play rough too. You want to play fast? We can do that as well. We can do that as well. You want to play half court? We can play that way too. You want to get dirty and make this a physical game? We can play that way too. And what I saw last night from the Golden State Warriors is the exact opposite of what I saw in game one. So essentially what I saw in game one was the Boston Celtics out-warriored the Warriors. They basically beat them at their own game. They played fast. They got out in transition. Defensively, they were elite. They forced a lot of turnovers. They cracked the three ball just like the Warriors did. They did a great job on Steph Curry. They did a great job on Klay Thompson. Forcing those guys into tough shots. Making those guys turn the basketball over. Well, fast forward to game two. The Golden State Warriors out Boston. They did exactly what Boston likes to do. And they just did it better than them. You're a physical basketball team. So what we're going to do is we're going to play physical with you. You want to push, we'll push back. There wasn't much of a difference in anything that they did in terms of rebounding, in terms of assists. That wasn't the issue at all. The issue in this basketball game was taking care of the basketball. Turnovers was the difference. We're talking about a Boston Celtic team with 18 turnovers. And the Golden State Warriors converted 33 points on those turnovers. And how did they get them to turn the basketball over? Being physical with them. Being physical with them. And the one guy who wasn't there before, who made an impact that we haven't talked about because he hadn't been around, and that's Gary Payton II. Well, what Boston planned on doing was, what we're going to do, we're going to have Jason Tatum be our primary ball handler. Well, what they didn't see, what the Boston Celtics hadn't seen was, they hadn't seen Jason Tatum being picked up full court. Enter Gary Payton II. I'm going to disrupt all of that. What it reminded me of is, it reminded me of last year in the NBA Finals. The Phoenix Suns love to play fast. That's who they are. They're a fast team. They get out in transition. Well, Drew Holiday said that in order for us to have a chance at beating these guys, we got to slow that down. And how do we slow that down? I'm going to pick Chris Paul up full court. And I'm going to take the ball, I'm going to take him out of the offense. Hence slowing them down. Now we're talking about arguably the best, I think he's the best perimeter defender in the game. When he does that, that completely slows them down. Well, the same thing happened last night. Boston's going to put the ball into Jason Tatum's hands, and he's going to be our primary ball handler. Because of what he had done in game one, because he had what he had done in game one as the playmaker, as the floor director, as the floor general, we're going to put the ball in his hands. Well, Gary Payton II said, okay, great. I'm going to pick him up full court, and I'm going to disrupt his rhythm. Hence, speeding him up, making him play fast, and forcing him into turnovers. Him and Marcus Smart, 9 turnovers between the both of them. That's not going to get us anywhere. When our primary ball handlers aren't taking care of the basketball, that's not going to get us anywhere. In fact, it's going to get us what you saw last night. Right? It's going to get us what you saw last night. They out Boston, because Boston is the team that creates turnovers. Boston is the team that beats you up on the backboard. Boston is the team that's physical with you. There's a reason why they're the number 1 defense in the game, primarily because of that. They're the guys who are going to do that. Only except Golden State did it to them, which translated to more of their offense. So they got out more in transition. Right? They got out more in transition. They got their half court game going. Because now the Boston Celtics have to get back. They have to. And since we're on that subject, I thought that the Boston Celtics transition defense was terrible. I'm not a huge fan of clear path fouls. It's almost like when I watch it, I'm thinking to myself, do you guys teach transition defense in the NBA? What's the purpose of fouling in the middle of the floor when they have a fast break? Get back. Because when you take those fouls, Jason Tatum takes that foul, Marcus Smart takes that foul. Now that's another foul that he has in the second quarter, which now translates to when he's in the fourth quarter and he's already got 4 fouls. Now he can't be as aggressive because of that take foul. That's not going to work. And I watch that a lot of times and I think to myself, I wonder, do they teach transition defense or do they work on transition defense in the NBA? Because it doesn't seem like they do. It does not seem like they do. Draymond was Draymond yesterday, mucking up the game, being physical the way he does, and he was actually an offensive threat in this game. See, in the past, him not being an offensive threat makes them limited. He has to be able to score, and he doesn't have to be able to score in high volume. No, he doesn't have to shoot a lot, but he has to be a threat. What they're doing with Draymond is they're basically playing, when he doesn't score the basketball, they're playing 5-on-4. And when he's a threat, well, now we have to respect that. That's where the mid-range comes in. That's where him getting out in transition comes in, when he has the basketball. And he has to continue to do that in order for them to be successful. He has to. I thought they did a great job on Klay yesterday. I did. I thought they did a great job of chasing him off the rim, chasing him off the long ball line. I thought that they did a great job in forcing him into tough shots. I thought Marcus Smart with the switching, Jaylen Brown getting into him, playing him close, making shots difficult for him. I thought that they did a great job on him. What I'd like to see, though, is I'd like to see this drop coverage go away on Steph Curry. You have to chase him off screens. If he splits the screen, that's where your big guy, that's where the middle of your defense. So if they got a guy in the corner, if they have a guy in the corner, I'm furthest away from that, right? I'm furthest away from the guy in the corner because Steph has the ball. So I'm the furthest guy away, so I'm the help defense. So if Steph splits and he's coming down the gut, I am the help defense. And if he kicks it to the corner and they score, so be it. But what can't happen is we can't keep playing drop coverage, which is he's standing behind the screen as a defender. And Steph is essentially walking into shots. That's a recipe for disaster, especially when you haven't really been that physical with him. You're basically, you're setting yourself up for failure there. Al Horford, White, they were completely and utterly ineffective offensively. I didn't see much from Al Horford in terms of scoring. I saw him try to get on the offensive glass, which was good. I did see him get out in transition, but I think that he needs to take more advantage when he has mismatches. A lot of times when you see big guys on the small guy, have small guys on them, they do a lot of extra stuff when it's not necessary. So when Al Horford has Steph Curry on him, I don't have to do a lot of one-on-one and pounding the basketball. Take him to the basket, abuse him. That's really the end of that. That's not something that has to be complex. And he doesn't have to do a lot to get to that. I thought Robert Williams was really good. I also thought that they did a good job of taking away what Derek White likes to do. Derek White likes to shoot the basketball when he's open. Now, when he's going to the basket, he's not much of a threat. I mean, he could score it going to the basket, but his game is primarily a catch-and-shoot guy when he's wide open and lingering on the wing. That's primarily his game. And I thought they did a good job of taking him out of that. I can't say enough. I've said this more than once, more than twice, and I stand on it. I'm sure you guys are going to get sick of hearing it. I'm telling you, man, Andrew Wiggins is that crumpled up $20 that you find in the dryer. He's that $400 that you didn't account for, that you forgot, that not you didn't forget that you had, but you're doing bills and you didn't account for this, and you go, damn, where'd this $400 come from? Oh, I have this. Yes, you do have that. That's who Andrew Wiggins is. I thought he did a really good job on Jason Tatum. I did. I think I thought collectively, not just him, because I thought he did a good job on Jason Tatum, but collectively, him, Gary Payton, Poole, I thought collectively they did a good job on Jason Tatum with switching and forcing him away from the basket. He still has to get that in-between game, man, and the consistency isn't there yet. It's getting there. It is getting there. So you're going to see him again. You're going to see him in Game 3, and he's going to be a different Jason Tatum. You know, the pressure is on Boston. You know, they're home. We have a tie series. They have to defend their home floor. They absolutely have to defend their home floor. So the pressure is on Boston to do that. I'm not sold on what happened in Game 1. I mean, a lot of people, you know, Golden State might not win another game, or this could end in 5. Well, when I saw the domination that I saw, I didn't get sucked into that though, because I know how quickly the tide can turn, and yesterday was evidence of that. I picked the Warriors in 6, and I'm sticking to that. I'm not gonna jump out the window after what I saw in Game 1. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm sticking with what's going on. I'm sticking with my pick, and I still think that they're gonna win. I still think the Warriors are gonna win in 6. I think that Game 3 is gonna tell me whether or not this is gonna be a short series. Game 3 is gonna tell me that, because I saw the Celtics take the Warriors punch. I saw the Warriors take the Celtics punch. So now we're going to Boston. So I'm going to find out in Game 3 whether or not this is going to be a short series. I'm really interested to see how these guys come out. Like I said, I'm sticking with the Warriors in 6, but we're going to find out. So I'm going to be here for as long as you guys want me to. This is absolutely fantastic. We got the NBA Finals going on, so I'll see you guys soon. But until then, take it light, but take it.